Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Raw Law Unfiltered with your host, the DUI Guy Plus. James is on his way from, uh, basically from court. I think he's parked outside, so he should be in momentarily. But before he gets here, let me see if I can get some light in here. There we go. Um, So I apologize for the delay. I kept pushing it back and pushing it back. I mean, when you're on location, it's definitely not as easy to coordinate when you're sitting comfortably in your studio or, when you're traveling, it's very difficult to sometimes get everything moving in motion at the exact right time. So James will be here in just a moment. In the meantime, let's talk about the fireworks, you guys. Oh my goodness. Um, Talk about craziness. Talk about taking the biggest risk that you could possibly conceive of. Taking the stand in your own criminal defense trial against the advice of your own attorneys. I mean, that is just unprecedented. The last trial that I had when my client was like, should I testify? I was like, no, I think we got him pinned to the wall. And obviously, it was a much shorter, much less severe punishment type trial, but it was my client's entire um, career, What's up, James? I said 107. Yeah, yeah. Door is open. Just use the key. All right. That was James. So he'll be here in a second. I honestly think that Alec Murdaugh just torpedoed his own case. Um, that is my opinion. There he is.
Hello, hello.
Come on in, James. The water's fine.
Hello, chat.
Let me grab another chair for you. You can use that one.
I'm gonna say hi, and then I gotta just.
Okay.
Which is probably gonna pick up on your mic, but anyway. Hello, everyone.
James from court.
I haven't seen myself in a long time because I don't have a camera, so I actually know that I exist. Hello, it's good to see you all. I'm gonna step out for 1 second. I just ran in, but I'll be here to answer questions.
Which chair do you want, James? Do you want this chair or do you want that chair?
Ooh, I like the comfy one.
The comfy one? This one?
Or I don't care, man.
All right. No. I was gonna give it to you anyway. Yeah. Whichever one you want. I don't mind. Okay. So first of all, they start off the testimony with basically the zinger that they had to start with. They couldn't start with, well, let's kind of talk about your family. Generally, let's talk about your past. Let's talk about this and that. They were like, right out of the gate, they come out swinging, baseball bat in hand, ready to knock some skulls out, one after another. And they get Alex in this very emotional state, very, very emotional state, recounting, the memories of the events that transpired on June 7th of 2021 and recanting some of the lies that he said. So I was like, all right, this better be good. And then it kind of flopped, in my opinion. Again, this is, I know people are just like, oh, you're biased. No, I'm not. I'm simply stating my opinion. James may agree or disagree. We'll find out in a moment. I heard him a little bit on Joe's stream. James was saying that some of the people in the pews sitting behind him in the audience were kind of whispering and muttering very unpleasant words towards Alex Murdaugh as he was on the stand testifying, which kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense because, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion. Feel free to disagree. My opinion, based on what I have seen and based on what I know and have learned, is that Alex Murdaugh does not come off as a credible person. He's not coming off as, first of all, he admitted to lying to SLED. He admitted to lying to his family. He admitted to lying to his friends. What makes us believe him now? Like, what is going to change our opinion as to that he's not lying now? I mean, it's the only strategy. I'm not saying it's a good strategy, but it's pretty much the only strategy I think they have remaining. Because if he tries to like do some mental gymnastics like Amber Heard did, you good?
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to get us on an even. Continue. Sorry.
All right, no. So getting them on the same the mental gymnastics like Amber Heard tried to do. I mean, they already know this kind of stuff is gonna fail. And like I told Kurt, I was on his stream for a brief moment before I came on mine because he invited me, and I didn't want to say no. I love Kurt. I told Kurt that it seems to me like they made a decision. Obviously, they made a decision. He had to take the stand. He had to testify. He doesn't care. This is the reverse Johnny Depp. This is what I'm calling it. It's the reverse. He's pulling the reverse Johnny Depp. He's the I have nothing to lose. I have already lost this case, a hung jury. I don't care. I am testifying not to get an acquittal, not for the hung jury. I am testifying to clear my name. Now it's in the record forever. For my family, for neighbors, for friends, not for the court system. The court system, I already lost. I'm going to lose on the financial stuff, probably, because he already admitted all of that. They have him basically dead to rights on the financial stuff. So he's going away for 20 years. He may not even have 20 years remaining, or else he's going to be a very, very old man by the time he gets out. A man with nothing to lose has zero options. And the only option is to testify. Go ahead, James.
Well, no, I love that you say a man with nothing to lose, because that's what I kept saying about him testifying. I know that as a lawyer, you probably would say, don't take the stand, don't incriminate yourself in any way. But if you are innocent and you have nothing to lose, why not take the stand? And even if you're not innocent, but you have nothing to lose, at this point, if you have that much of an ego that you think that you can convince people, everyone, of something, that's opposite of what you did, if you really in fact did it, then it's almost, you know what I mean? I would call it kind of the Amber Heard a little bit, maybe the reverse Johnny Depp, but maybe call it the Amber Heard, because she thought she could get up there and convince the jury and the entire public that what we saw, the evidence we saw, was not, true, and that her story was right. Now, this is different because there isn't a lot of good evidence, but it's now just a character. It's all about character, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, so give us, since I was not in the courtroom today, people have been asking me since literally I've been tweeting all morning. The courtroom is packed, you guys. I showed up early. I was there at like 7:55, and they were like, we're sorry, there's no room for you. And I'm like, okay, well, I did my best. People were starting to show up at 5 a.m. today, James.
Yeah, you said it was very early. I thought 6, but 5 o'clock?
5. Oh, so they asked the people in the front, they were asked, and they held up.
Excuse me, sorry.
They held up the 5 fingers. No, they were up here since 5. So like, there's no way I was gonna get like 4 hours of sleep. It's okay. It doesn't matter. You were there. So tell us. I heard you a little bit on Joe's stream talking about like people in the audience and how they were reacting to Alec Murdaugh. Do you want to tell the chat a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, people who show up are one of two groups. Either they don't like Alec and they've watched either podcasts or the Netflix or HBO or us, or someone online, and they show up because they want to see him and they want to see the trial for themselves, or they are someone that's loosely related to the family and show up in support. I would say the larger group is the former, because like today, I heard people hiss at him and basically say he was lying. A few weeks ago, he came in and I heard someone behind him call him an ogre. So I think you have a lot of mixed feelings about him. I think people also, they watch different things. And this is my issue kind of with some of the podcasts that have come out, because if you watch them and stuff, you have an idea that he should be found guilty, which is fine. But the jury doesn't see all of the things that we see. The jury doesn't see everything that the viewers see, especially when it comes to evidence in this case. So I don't want people to be disappointed if we don't get the result that we're looking for, But yes, people in the audience definitely have some feelings about him.
Now, I'm actually even afraid to ask you this question, because a part of me is almost thankful I wasn't in the courtroom today, and I was able to watch it a little bit more unbiasedly.
Okay.
But what do you think the jury's opinion and feelings were towards Alec Murdaugh today? What did you see?
Mixed. I mean, and so
As anticipated.
yeah, I spoke to two of the people next to me. One of them is a podcaster. The other one is Gigi from Law and Crime,
Yes.
Pretty Lies and Alibis, who people will know her. We were talking about how we're very unsure about the jury. I mean, there are a few who I definitely feel like are tapped out with him. I mean, I said it in Joe's stream earlier. There was one juror who, if you watch my streams, I call her Mean Mug because of she always is staring people down, whether it's the family or people in the audience. And I've said this before, I do believe that she's the person that complained about me.
Was that the one in the front that's like second on the left, on the right?
They all change.
Oh.
Every single time, you know, from break, they sit in new seats.
Let me mute the mic real. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to reveal identity of the jurors. That's why I muted the mic.
Yes.
So I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. So she actually had a blanket that she put over her face when he was testifying. Look, Alex is testifying, talking, and she has not over. Sorry, she has a blanket. It was a tan blanket up around her, so like she can't even see. So there's some jurors that I'm trying to say are like I think decided.
Wait a minute. She covered her.
She covered
eyes?
her entire face.
Her face.
Her entire face. She was sitting back and she had her face covered with the blanket. Yes. Hold on, I'm gonna close this because my face is a little bleached.
Oh, you're good, man.
But anyway, yeah. How crazy is that?
That's insane. So she was listening, but she wasn't even looking at him.
Yes.
Presumably. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't even know if she was listening.
Or is it too dark now? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think we're good. The importance is that the content is there. I don't think the lighting, anybody cares about the lighting right now.
Okay.
So that one, the entire time she had her face covered from the moment he took the stand?
No. It was just for
later on.
moments of it. Yes.
Moments of it.
Yes.
Do you remember? I'm trying to think if it was like in a reaction to something.
I can tell you which part if you want.
Sure. Yeah, please. This is fascinating.
Oh, yep. Okay, so at 11:49 and 40 seconds this morning. So
Talk about a timestamp.
yep, it was when Alec was talking about it was the 911 call, excuse me, and he was talking on the 911 call, and he said he spoke about how Paul was so bad, how when he found them, Paul was so bad. He said that, and I wrote some notes. It was in between he was talking about that and when he was talking about the phone popping out of Paul's pocket. So he was talking about finding them, trying to turn them over, the phone popping out. During that sequence, she had her face covered. And I wrote, Mean Mug has her face in blanket covering face. And this is how I write about them in because it's so hard. In the Johnny Depp trial, I could write juror 1, juror 2, juror 3, juror 4, and I would know every time, okay, this is the juror. But now I have to give them nicknames to remember which is which. So
fair enough.
Yes.
The job just got a little bit harder for this trial.
Yeah.
Okay, so other than that juror, what about some of the other jurors? You're saying you're getting mixed feelings. Are there some jurors who appear to be like entranced, and maybe did any juror shed a tear to your observation?
No.
Nobody shed a tear.
No tear shedding.
What about did you see empathetic faces? Did you see more scowls, whelp faces? What was the predominant, or if any, or was it a complete split mix of emotion?
A mix, I would say, not necessarily scowl, but there's one who sits in the front and she didn't have the emotional connection I would have liked to see from her specifically, just because I've been watching her and for some reason I feel like she's middle of the road, and she really connected to Marianne's testimony, Maggie's sister, and you could tell in her face just by the way she was looking. And I wanted to see a similar connection when Alec was crying and testifying, and I didn't see that connection. And listen, they don't need to vote on emotion. That's not why they're deciding this. But as someone who's trying to observe, well, I know, and that's, but I want to preface it because I don't want people to get on my case like, oh, they don't, it's not about emotion, it's about the law, which of course it is a lot about the law, but you're dealing with people who are emotional beings. And this has become a trial about character as much as it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be about motive. And it's funny that Harpootlian brought that up this morning because I said it last night on a live stream. And bunch of the people have been talking about how this really has moved on from a trial really about the evidence here. And it really is a trial about character. So all of this adds to his character. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm looking for this emotional connection, because that's going to help someone decide if they really feel like he is guilty or not.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with you. That is a very fair assessment. It's what do you think about the lawyers trying to limit the, I know you're not an attorney, and I do. I'm looking for a non-legal, non-lawyer layperson's opinion from being in there. When Poot tried to, or whichever lawyer it was, tried to bring in, or to exclude certain parts of the testimony that has been brought out about the character, and to say this should not come in, Your Honor. And the judge was like, well, I'll address it when I'll address it. What did you think about that move?
I mean, I think it's just the defense either setting things up for an appeal of some sorts or just making it known for the record, because they've been, as the judge said, they've been making this argument from the first time it's brought up about adding the extra things in there. Them bringing it up now it doesn't change anything except for they're trying to bring back the original argument, because everyone knows, even if you're a lawyer or not, that just because he's the defense, he's testifying as a witness, he has to uphold the same rules as any other witness. You don't just get to now have special treatment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it was just another way for them to bring up the fact that they dislike this ruling to begin with. And I mean, as expected, the judge just was like, no, I've already talked about this pretty much every day. So yeah.
Ain't that the truth? Okay. Anything else you noticed about the jury or the gallery that is worth of note?
Yeah, because I do actually have to go back. I have
Of
to
course.
drive back. I just thought it was interesting they brought up, distrust of Sled, but then of course, he's so connected to Sled. And I think some of the jury members, all of them seem to be, well, all of them are people from this area, and most of them seem to be, I would describe as middle or working class people. And I feel like not the type of people that are going to sympathize with a lawyer who can kind of get away with, even if you in this situation, he didn't get away with special treatment. If you don't believe he did, it's clear that in past situations from the Mallory Beach. So in that situation, when they found Mallory Beach, him and his buddies were allowed onto the crime scene and her family was not. So it's very clear that he gets special treatment from the testimony that, again, he had the solicitor's badge in his window. Everyone just knows his family, the fact they brought up the fact that his family has been here for this long. So, and I'm sure even though the jury members aren't really supposed to know about him, they probably know a little bit about his family or something like that. So I think that's going to hit hard for probably the jury, who is not going to, basically what I was trying to say is they're not going to sympathize with someone like that. But also, you only need one or two jury members, and I really do believe there are jury members who are going to side with him, or at least not feel like there's enough evidence to prove him guilty. So I think we're going to have a hung jury.
Back to hung jury.
Yeah.
I did another poll while you were in court. What does the public think?
Mm-hmm.
Are we guilty based on the new stuff that we have heard today? Guilty, not guilty, unanimous, or hung jury? And it is now split. Basically, we have 5% or less than 5% who are saying not guilty now.
Mm.
And we have about an even split between guilty and hung jury. And I'm still with you. I believe to vote for all 12 of them to be like, oh yeah, he did it, guilty, is going to take a lot. And that's as much as we would like to maybe believe, but in the system, beyond a reasonable doubt is the standard, as we all know. So without having beyond a reasonable doubt evidence, which I still don't think we have, even with his shoddy testimony, you still, it's not like he admitted like, oh yeah, I did it or anything crazy like that. You know, that would have been the nail in the coffin. But of course, he's not never going to admit it, even if he did. I think we're still in hung jury territory. So I agree with you.
Yeah, and I don't mean that's kind of unfortunate. I think if you took a public opinion poll, you would find different. It would probably be majority find him guilty, but the circumstances surrounding this jury in this trial and all of the circumstances, I think it's just going to be very different. So I would not be surprised if it was something like that. So, and with that, I'm going to go back to court, y'all.
Yeah, he needs to get food and he needs to go back to court.
Yes.
I'm probably going to try and get in, but I'm not.
After lunch, yeah, come and try to get in.
I'm going to try.
Your break.
Like, at this point, I got nothing to lose.
No,
so.
And you'll be here for the rest of the week, right?
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow and then Monday.
Tomorrow you'll get in. Just get here super early.
That's 5 a.m.
Well, you're close by. Go and then come back and take a nap or something, right? Get a sticker.
Something like that.
Something? I don't know.
Dude,
get
it's
coffee.
Something.
Yeah.
Or go to bed early. I could literally just like go to bed super early.
That's true. You're not there, so you could just go to bed soon.
Yeah.
Right after court ends.
But we will be streaming. I don't know if James will be joining me. When I say we, I mean you and me and chat. James, I don't know if you're going to be doing stuff or whatever, but
what time?
Like right after court. I don't know.
That's when I was going to do it. So
no problem.
Okay, well,
no problem. You can
do
your thing, and then if you have time, join on. If not, don't worry about it. But thanks for coming on, man.
Yes, of course. See you all. Thank you.
Bye, James.
Back to court.
You can keep that card in case you need it, man. If you need like to take a nap or something, just
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
I will just if I come stop by and say hi as well.
We're not done yet, chat. We still got more to talk about. That was James from court. So he's gonna go get some food. He's gonna go back into the courtroom. I'm gonna try. See you, James.
See ya.
I'm gonna try and get into the courtroom. Again, I think I'm better off today. It's somehow, I swear to God, it's like the universe is looking after me. The one day I don't get in because it's full, I don't really need to be there. Because like you heard James, even he's confused. How can you look at these jurors today when the man himself is testifying and he's telling me they have mixed reactions? That's all I need to hear. Mixed reactions means they all have different varying opinions about the testimony. And that's extremely important. That is exactly what I needed to hear in order to maintain my position that the jury appears to not be on the same page. In the Johnny Depp trial, it was so obvious. We had a vast majority leaning one way or the other. We had a couple exceptions that we couldn't figure out. But here, I mean, you heard what James said. The jury is just, they can't figure out. We have one that's like closing her eyes in certain parts of testimony. We have one that was empathetic with when Maggie's sister was testifying, and now she's completely unempathetic, not on the same wavelength as Alec Murdaugh. And again, I maintain the position is you all have guts. You all have common sense. I don't need to tell you this. You watch the testimony. It appears, like I told Kurt, about 9 out of 10 people, it appears, at least based on the polls that I did, the votes that I've gotten, the comments. I've been reading comments since I have access to technology, since I'm not in the courtroom. I've been reading comments and your opinions every hour on the hour this morning and this early afternoon. It seems to me, because you have to remember, the jury is a microcosm of the world. The opinion of the world is a reflection of what the jury is likely to vote and how the jury is likely to vote, unless they have been tempered with. That is the only exception, which I don't think in this case they have. Now, do some of them maybe have a fear, like if we convict him, it's our asses next or something crazy like that? I mean, sure, there is a realm of possibility where that is possible, but until it actually happens, we can rule it out. You know what I mean? We don't want to talk about the possible exceptions because there are a billion of them, you know, that could lead to a result A or result B. The bottom line is the jury is a reflection reflection, or the community at large is a reflection of the microcosm that is sitting inside the courtroom and watching the exact same thing that you and I are. So up until this point, I can tell you, being in the courtroom for a few days, the jury was attentive, at times falling asleep, at other times very commensurate with the testimony. But now that we have our main protagonist, the man that is on trial, the man whose fate is on the line, the man whose fate is going to be decided when this case is decided by these 12 strangers when they go back to deliberate, and they have mixed feelings, and they are having mixed emotions to his testimony, and their emotions are not in line with the emotions that they felt towards other witnesses based on our observations. I mean, that is a huge, huge, huge red flag. Huge red flag, because that means that they're not in the same boat. They're not unanimous in their emotional opinions, in their emotional reactions, as it appears to us. And so therefore, it probably is going to be a hung jury. Again, I'm with James on this one. My opinion has not changed. My opinion has not changed. And you guys are split 50-50 on Twitter. I did a poll, like I told James, and 50%, basically, it's like 48% think guilty, 48% think hung jury, 4% think not guilty at last time I checked. I mean, that's basically, given what we saw today, it makes sense. It makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly how the jury is going to vote, but it's possible. It's very, very possible. So let's see. I apologize. I didn't see a whole lot of super chats, and I hope I'm going to try and capture all of them so I don't miss any, because I don't want to miss you guys. I know there's lots of comments. We have a lot of people here. So I apologize if I don't get to you, but if you did super chat, I will absolutely make sure that I get to you and I don't miss you. I don't even know if I'm going to have time to eat. Like, I can't eat right now. I'm too excited. It's been such a hell of a day. And it was very, talking to James, listening to James, it's kind of hard to keep track of everything, especially when you have a live guest literally in your own studio, right? This makeshift temporary studio that we've made here. So all it takes is one. You got to remember, all it takes is one. Allison Becca says, bugging me. Housekeeper said she called Alex to come over because mom is upset his dad is in the hospital. But when he leaves Moselle, he texts, I'm going to see mom and dad. There you go. Welcome, Katrina Hetherington, as a new member. Oh, I recognize that face. How are you doing? Southwest 4x4 Explorers, explain what happens if it's a hung jury. Oh, yes. So we're being restreamed, by the way, right now on at least a couple of different channels. One, a Spanish-speaking one. Hello to our Spanish-speaking community, by the way. Hola, mis amigos que hablan español. Yo soy Lorenzo, also known as Le DUI Guy. El DUI Guy? El DUI Guy. Muchas gracias para translate. I'm also being restreamed on another channel, and I believe it might be this individual. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks familiar. But anyway, what happens if there's a hung jury? Two things. Well, three things. Number one, everybody goes home. Trial is over. Not guilty, not guilty. Everybody just goes home. Kaput. Whatever has happened is now in the record. The prosecution at that point has the opportunity to decide, number one, are we going to retry the case? If they choose to retry the case, a brand new trial will begin 3 to 4 to 5 weeks. However, this has been going on for 5 weeks. At the next retrial, maybe they won't use as many witnesses. Maybe they'll cut some witnesses out. Maybe they'll bring new witnesses in. So it might be shorter, it might be longer. And then it basically all over again. Literally start from scratch. Or option 3, I guess, or option 2, after everybody goes home, the prosecution says, we are not going to re-prosecute. We are dropping the charges. So those are the two options. Now, with Alec testifying, if they choose to retry, there is a realm of possibility where Alec doesn't testify, let's say, at the second trial. Whatever happens today on cross-examination, we still don't know. It hasn't happened yet. We may not even get there. We're still on direct examination. So there's still plenty of evidence to come in. And then the prosecution decides to prosecute. The defense can change their whole strategy. Now, they can't change the testimony, but they can change the angle at which they're approaching it. For example, like I said, not have Alec testify. That is a realm of possibility. All of that is up in the air. All of that is up in the air until we actually get either a verdict or a hung jury. So I hope that answers your question. Mo, it was Mo. That's right. Yes, it was Mo. I apologize. Thank you for sharing your stream with us. You're welcome, Mo. You are welcome, Mo. I did not see you in court. That's because I wasn't there, Glow T. James was. I was not in. They were full. New subscriber from Ikmel. Ikmel is that's what I recognize. That's the chat. That's the channel. That is Rose. I don't know if you can link Ikmel's channel. I don't have a link for you. You're gonna have to do some digging, but I apologize. Let me see if I got it in my Twitter. Did you send it to me? Did you send me the link to your channel? If you didn't, send it to me. Oh wait, yes you did. Yes you did. What am I saying? Yes you did. There it is. But this one is not live. Did you pull up another one? I don't know. Okay, here's his channel. Here's his channel. He's a really cool dude. I never met him before, and he just messaged me, and I'm like, dude, I don't care. You can restream. I love when people appreciate and want to learn and get knowledge. Is he not going to get hammered and crossed? Kevin Burnett, that is a phenomenal question. And that is actually the question that I asked my viewers and people who have been following me on Twitter. And so far we have a split. We have a split, and let me show you guys. This is what the people have said. The words, Larry, words. The poll is not finished yet, but so far, 58.6% to the question, what do you think will happen with Alex Murdaugh's testimony and cross-examination, basically how he's going to testify. 58.3% said he's going to crumble, so about 3 out of 5. And 2 out of 5 people said he's going to hold his own. So this is what you all are saying. This is what you all are saying. I don't know. I think as an attorney and a professional liar and a professional manipulator who has been manipulating people day in and day out. Remember, he's always on his phone. What is he doing on his phone? You think he might be buying drugs. But for the most part, why is he on his phone? He's on his phone because he's doing business. He's working. What is he working? People. He is working people. He's working different angles, negotiating deals. Remember testimony that came in. He's one of the best settlers. He doesn't try cases because he doesn't need to. He strong arms people into his bidding. He corners them into situations where maybe they don't have an escape. He muscles potentially people. Maybe he's got firepower that we don't even know about, other than simply him being like a good attorney, a good negotiator. So what is he doing now? He is performing the classic. I'm trying to think who was like notorious for messing it up. Chat may be able to help me out here. But when you believe, I mean, Amber Heard is the classic example, I guess, in recent times, when you're like, people are going to believe my shit because it doesn't stink. Because you're so much of a narcissist. You believe in your lies so much that you're like, there is no realm of possibility that anyone will disbelieve this. And lo and behold, yes, they do. You know what I mean? So that's what I think this is headed. And when the prosecutor gets up there for cross-examination, he is going to have a field day. And Alec Murdaugh will be blocking every punch. And he's not going to crumble, but his overall aura of character will begin to fall apart because his story will start showing inconsistencies. I think he's going to have a lot of trouble because on direct, it's easy. He's got a narrative. Notice how he constantly drifts away from the question, starts talking about chickens and dogs and what you do and the sunflowers and the this and you have to spray and the, like, for the love of God, man, just answer the damn question. He's not going to be able to do that on cross. There's going to be a lot of back and forth hoorah on cross examination. That I can tell you. That's one of the reasons I'm hoping to get in there definitely tomorrow when the cross is going to be in full swing, because the cross examination is definitely something I want to see the jury for. So I'm definitely going to try and be there as early as I can. Otherwise, I do risk like not being able to get in 2 days in a row, and I don't like that. So I'm going to be in the courtroom tomorrow, come hell or high water. You know what I'm saying? Hello from Iked Mel's chat. Salute. Thanks for letting us lunch raid you. Absolutely. You are welcome. Thanks for the lunch money. And did I read your name? I apologize if I didn't. JB. And then Kim T says, I believe Alec Murdaugh on the murders. You can be a malicious liar, but that does not mean that you would brutally kill your wife and child. Very true. Very true. Thank you. Excellent explanation on hung jury. Thank you so much. I try my best. Thank you, Pippa. New subscriber from Ikidmel, Courtney. Courtney. Welcome. Starbucks fund. Oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun at Starbucks. I still haven't decided if I'm gonna do it, and if she's even there. I guess I have to go around the same hour to make sure that I catch her. It's gonna be in the evening time, so God, I'm a bad boy. Dat set says Mel Tool took a break and sent us all to you, and he'll be back at 2:40. Thanks so much for sharing your amazing information with us. Absolutely. You are welcome. Today is definitely the hottest day of the entire trial. No question about it. I mean, we got the man himself on the witness stand, for God's sake. Alec Murdaugh said not intentionally hurt his family, and people are freaking out, but nobody would intentionally hurt their family. Well, I mean, you're right, Kim T. I mean, he's just being honest. He's like, well, I hurt them. It is what it is, He can't undo the past. He can't change what has been done. This might be weird, Steph L says, but I just have to tell you, the way the corners of your mouth turn up is so cute. Thank you. Making me blush on stream in front of 4,000 people. Welcome, Drita43 for becoming a member. Oh, the nickname. Somebody asked, yeah. Do you have any opinion on the nickname he was continuously using? Oh, Pawpaw. I believe this is the first time we have heard this nickname, but granted, that's his son. Nobody else nicknamed his son or called his son by the nickname Alex Murdaugh assigned to him, but we haven't heard that at all. So, but continuously just over and over and over. Again, I think it's the theatrics. I think it's overkill. I think it's too much. I don't buy it. Real emotions with real people don't act this way. I'm sorry. I have seen people. I also deal in people. I am a criminal defense trial attorney. I talk to at least 10 people on the phone every day. Like, to me, that's normal. That's normal. That is part of my business. I sell, I buy, I sell myself, I sell my services, I get hired, I get rejected for maybe like a high price. I know what it's like to work people. I know what it's like to be a good actor in life. You don't have to pretend, just be yourself. And sometimes we're all acting. You in the middle of a courtroom could just randomly drop on the ground and put your thumb in your mouth and start sucking and crying like a baby. We don't do that. Why? Because that's out of character. People will mock you. They will laugh at you. You're outside of your realm of existence. You are not a baby. Why are you acting like a baby, right? We're acting like humans who function, who talk, who communicate, who express emotions and feelings, and we chat. And Alec knows exactly how he needs to appear. He knows how he needs to present himself. So maybe I have a frame of reference, which is not easy. Himself also being a lawyer, I can see what he's trying to portray. So maybe I see him a little bit differently, and that's okay too. I don't know. I'm telling you how I feel. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this analysis, like what I did yesterday, the reason my jury trial did not go, I looked at the people that I was going to be selecting from, and it was our choice whether or not to make a waiver or not. Why? Because we didn't have enough people to get a jury. I've never had that before in my career. We had 16, we needed 16 people minimum. We had 13, 14, one showed up late. And the judge was like, do you want to waive? It was us. The defense gets to waive. Do we waive and go, or do we reschedule for a new day? And I was like, we were going to reschedule, because even if I picked 6 from that pool, to me it was not enough. I needed a bigger pool. These were not my people. I trusted my gut. I trusted my feelings. And I am telling you, based on, it's not, you can't just be born yesterday, be an 18-year-old and be like, well, my feelings are telling me this. The feelings are compounded by life experiences, practicing law for a decade, having tried over 30 jury trials personally, first chairing it, directing and cross-examining witnesses personally, influencing juries on a monthly basis personally, influencing judges on a monthly basis, on a daily basis personally, cross-examining, direct examining witnesses personally, talking to tens of thousands of clients personally. That is what I bring to the table. That is what my realm of existence has to offer. And that is why my opinion is compounded by all of that weight that comes in. Okay. So I'm not just coming in like a brand new, oh, hello, my name's Larry, and I've been an attorney for 5 minutes. Let me tell you what I think about this case or this jury. Therein lies the difference. Okay. Leslie Smith, thank you for becoming a new sub from Ikmel. Hello. Um, Let's see. Kimberly Noel, his testimony seemed very genuine. Okay, there we go. Devil's advocate. Some people believe him. It appeared genuine. Aaron, excuse me, Areen. Oh my God. Aaron Albanese. Being a paralegal that goes to trials with my boss, I'm fairly good at reading people. I don't think Buster believes his dad. Wow, that's like a double read. You're reading Buster reading his own father. That's deep. I love it. I love it. Maybe he was naked when he killed, hosed off, no blood on the clothes, says Sally. Hey, that is a possibility. We don't know. Do you know what the jury expressions were with Alex Murdaugh? Kim, so James filled that in with us. If you scroll back to like minute 10 to about 25, he was with us for 15 minutes and he filled us in. Robin Welch, welcome to the channel as a member. Thank you for joining. And so yes, so that's basically where we're at. I can't wait for direct examination to finish. Like I said, trial resumes in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna try and go and get in. Probably not gonna happen today by the looks of it, because it was already a line forming, and they ran out of media passes. They just ran out. They don't have room. Literally, the media benches. The reason I didn't get in is not because of anything crazy. I didn't do anything bad. I showed up, and apparently they were already all taken. The seats for the media were already taken. People have been gathering since 5 a.m. All the media passes have been taken. And every time I would come in there, they always had an extra media pass available for the DUI guy. And today I showed up and they're like, I'm sorry, I don't have any media passes for you. And I left. And that's fine. And that's fine. I'm not, like I said, I'm actually very happy that didn't happen. I was able to get so much more done, and I didn't miss anything anyway. The cross examination is where the fireworks are going to be. So we still have about 15 minutes. Okay, by the way, about Judge Newman, God bless him, he's never on time. When he says like an hour 15, it basically is an hour 25. You know what I mean? So court is going to resume probably in about 15 minutes. So we got a little bit more time. Fire away your questions or anything else. Make sure to include the tag question so I see it. Otherwise, I will miss it. He was he was a sun-nosed baby today for sure, says Sheila. Sorry, it took me a second to realize what you were saying. I apologize. Paige CM says, I agree with you, Larry, reading Alex. He felt his whole job as a lawyer was to talk to people talk people into things. Question: Can the prosecutor bring in jailhouse calls? Depends on the jurisdiction and depends who he was talking to. Most places, if it's an attorney-client privileged conversation, those may or may not be recorded, but they can't be used. If he was talking to family, maybe, especially if that was not waived. Question: Do you think John Grisham stole your seat? Yes, I do. I think somebody said that already. Uh, some people are thinking that John Grisham, the author, yes, the author of the book, he's going to write his next novel is probably going to be based on Alex Murdaugh, which I would not be surprised at all. At all. Um, how long does the jury have to deliberate? As long as it takes. My prediction: 4 days, maybe 3.5. Steph L, sorry about making you blush. You're fine. Seriously though, why isn't the SLED agent lying about the blood splatter to the grand jury a bigger deal? Because they have no proof yet that it was or wasn't there. I mean, the agent probably made it up. I mean, probably, because there was no proof. But how do you prove a negative? It's a lot harder to prove a negative. But they also have the burden is on the prosecution to prove the positive. If there was a blood splatter, show me. Did you take a photo of it? No. Did you analyze it? No. Well, then why am I supposed to believe you? Aaron Albanese, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining. Another question. Do you find it strange that Buster had no emotions while testifying about his mother and brother's death? This whole family is weird, you guys. This whole family is just like stoic, but you have to understand they have this familial pride. We do not show emotion over, like, you're a man now. You have to understand the mentality of this family. Like, they are a very powerful family, that controls a lot of assets, possibly a lot of land, possibly a lot of drugs, maybe owns politicians. I mean, obviously, we can tell that politicians are very involved in this trial. One of them is on the defense team, for God's sake. We have former attorney generals sitting in the pews. We have current, state senators for South Carolina involved. I mean, this whole thing is it goes deeper than any of us could possibly conceive of. And that is one of the reasons this case is getting so much attention, is that these people are just so deeply involved. Why would you sequester the jury? Oh, would you sequester the jury during the deliberations? It's a small town. They're probably not going to do it. Would I? I would try. I would move for it, and the defense might. But does it really matter? I mean, they're going to be under orders that if anyone comes up to you, you report it to the court immediately. Again, question is, are they going to do it? Probably. I have not watched the documentary yet, but I don't know if I will. I better. This trial is enough for me, you guys. I know you're obviously not here. For me, it's like it's a lot. It's a lot. Danielle says, I don't understand how anyone could believe Alex Murdaugh after he admitted to lying over and over, but now he's telling the truth. Exactly. This is literally what I started with. If you watch the stream from the beginning, like the first minute, this is exactly what I said. I agree with you 100%. Like, yeah, right. I feel Alex Murdaugh crying because he knows that he killed his son and wife and now knows it wasn't worth it. Well, does he? Maybe he still thinks the job is done. I don't know. That's the question. So let's see. I don't see any more. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Is Buster broke because of his dad? I don't know. Maybe. What do you think about Alex wiping snot in his eye? I'm glad I'm not the only one who caught that. I just don't want to. I mean, there's certain things you don't want to like talk about openly because it's still, you got to remember, this is a murder trial. Okay, people forget this is not. We're not watching a docu-series on MTV. These are real people. 2 humans are dead in this case. And like, but yes, I did notice that too. I'm not dissing you. I'm just saying. Is it possible people are keeping their enemies close because Alec Murdaugh knows so much? Maybe. Maybe. The documentary is an easy watch. I was surprised with about what the kids from the boat accident had to say. Okay. I mean, I might check it out. How long is it? Is it like an hour and a half? If it's longer than that, then I might just like listen to it on my way back from South Carolina because I'll have a 9.5 hour drive when this thing is all over. So I'm here until the end. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, you guys. I am here until the bitter end now. There is nothing bringing me back home until this case is over. So I'll be here Monday. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here Monday. I'll be here Tuesday. I'll spend the weekend here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't anticipate. Remember, I said I don't anticipate that this trial will go past like Monday or Tuesday, and then the jury will begin deliberating after closing arguments. I mean, rebuttal witnesses, but there's nothing to rebut. In the Johnny Depp trial, we had like a week's worth of rebuttal, but that's because there was stuff to rebut. They brought the experts back. I mean, sure, here we may have like a day of rebuttal for both sides. I just unless the prosecution and the defense are kind of dumb and they're going to try and rebut everything in the book, and that's going to be annoying, and the jury's going to be angry, and we're going to be angry, and we're going to be asleep, and the jury's going to be asleep. Somebody asked me today when I was standing in line trying to get in. Somebody asked me, they were like, Larry, do you believe? What did they say? Oh shoot, now I forgot what they said. They asked me a question about something, and now I can't remember it. Sorry, it flew out of my head. I'm juggling too many things mentally right now. But they asked me something, and it was relevant to what I was saying. But anyway, what were the reactions in the media room? So when people heard in the media room that Alec Murdaugh is taking the stand, there was definitely an audible shock. No question about it. That was universal. People were like, ooh, very like tense, very tense. And then a couple of media members were going back and forth, and one of them was like, "How are you not nervous? Like, why are you not nervous?" And she's like, "I don't know. Like, I'm not. I'm just not nervous." He's like, "I've been here. I've been following this trial for 18 months. Like, he's so invested in it. He's trying to figure out why she's not invested in it." And she goes like, "I don't know." And he's basically like, "I'm sorry, I'm taking my job so seriously, but I take my job seriously." And I was like, "You fucking get it, bro. Like, don't let this girl bring you down. You do your thing. I believe in yourself, believe in this job, and continue doing you because you're gonna go far. Whoever you are. You're probably never gonna see this, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. I don't know if I said that yet. What did I think about the witnesses from the defense? The ones I have seen and listened to, which was kind of few and far in between because I had my own trial, like I said, and I've been traveling back and forth. I not very impressed, but they got a little bit. No pillow talk right now. Later. That's tonight. That's tonight on Join Me on Locals. Maybe later. So I think Emily's back. Go. Most people are, since I don't think Nick is streaming this trial. He's in Vegas. He's doing his Vegas thing. People are flocking over to Emily's. Thank you so much. Go watch Emily. I love every single one of you. If you're watching this trial, I will be back tonight again to continue commentary. Hopefully, I'll get in. If I don't get in, oh well. If I do get in, fantastic. Go watch Emily if that's where you're going. I think. Oh, Joe is streaming too. Joe is streaming. I forgot about that. Good call. And Kurt. Sorry, because since Nick is not doing it, I think Kurt is doing it with Potentially Criminal. So I know those three are definitely doing it. Callie Sandy RN says, "Do you think prosecution brought in too much info for days and too much info and days for upcoming fraud trial to present to a present trial just to destroy his character?" Absolutely, absolutely. That's exactly what I think. Thank you, Ikmel. Also, thank you for the español. ¿Cómo se dice translate? How do you say translate in Spanish? I forgot. Translitar? Probably not. But anyway, Ikmel is also streaming the trial. That's right. Ikidmel. Sorry. Ikidmel is also streaming the trial. So, yeah, very exciting stuff. So enjoy, you guys. I'm going to try and get in the courtroom. I'm not putting any money on it today. Probably not going to happen. But hey, tomorrow, I'm going to be in, and I'm streaming tonight. Probably at least once, if not twice. All right. Bye, everyone. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.